What's up, guys? Welcome to the Inside Jays podcast. And in this video, we're going to be going over the recent series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees, and the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays swept the New York Yankees in a four-game series, four-game sweep. And as of right now, the Toronto Blue Jays are first in the AL East, baby. So we're going to recap that series. We're going to be talking about that four-game sweep and just how dominant the Toronto Blue Jays have been over the last month or so. After this series, the Blue Jays are now 8-2 in their last 10. I believe I saw something on Instagram, the fact that they have the best home record in the AL, and they're just absolutely lighting it up. So we're going to recap the series, talk about each game, and then we'll do a little preview of this upcoming series that they have against the Angels, which already technically started. They were able to win their sixth game in a row, defeating the Anaheim Angels the other day to keep their winning streak intact. And for the first time in almost a decade, the Toronto Blue Jays are first in the AL East this far into the season. So that is absolutely huge. But before we dive into the recap, I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art. So Gassy Jack Art, you guys can check him out at gassyjackart.com. As you can see here, he does have some baseball prints. He primarily has hockey prints. So go ahead, check him out, gassyjackart.com. You can also find him on Instagram at gassyjackart. So let's go ahead and dive into the series recap for the Blue Jays and New York Yankees. The headline is Blue Jays sweep four-game series against Yankees in most important series of the last decade. This article is, of course, written by Riley Delaney, and he goes on to say the Toronto Blue Jays' four-game series against the New York Yankees was the biggest in a decade. Coming into Monday, the Blue Jays were 3 games back of the Yankees for the top spot in the American League East. After Thursday, the Blue Jays moved into sole possession of the division lead, sweeping the Yankees in a four-game home series for the first time in franchise history. They had 26 prior attempts. On Monday, the Jays went down 2-0 in the top of the fourth. Were down 3-1 in the bottom of the sixth before exploding for 4 runs to win 5-1. No home runs were hit, but the Blue Jays were 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position. The Blue Jays earned at least a series split on Tuesday as they won a wild 12-5, thanks in large part to a grand slam from George Springer, his second of the game at that point. It was a nice way to celebrate Canada Day. Another day, another wild win for the Blue Jays on Wednesday. They were up 7-0 after one inning and were up 8 at one point, but allowed the Yankees to crawl back into the game, tying it at 9 in the top of the 8th thanks to Aaron Judge's home run. As they've done all season, the Jays were able to find a way at scoring twice in the bottom of the 8th to win 11-9, with a chance to sweep the Yankees at home in a four-game series for the first time in franchise history. The Blue Jays did just that with an 8-5 victory on Thursday. Springer hit 2 more home runs, while he, Addison Barger, and Nathan Lucas all had a 3-hit night. With the win, the Jays moved into sole possession of the top spot in the American League East. The latest they've held the position since September 2016. That's a lot to digest. So how did the hitters do? Well, Springer hit an incredible 4 home runs and 19 plate appearances, giving him a 4.46 WRC plus, by far the best series he's ever had as a Jay. Andres Jimenez also had a strong series, hitting a home run off Max Fried on Tuesday and finishing with a 370 WRC plus. Barger and Davis Schneider each hit 2 home runs, with the latter hitting 2 in the same game. Schneider is the right-handed power bat the Blue Jays needed coming off the bench. They finished with a 336 and 322 WRC plus, respectively. Nathan Lucas finished with a won 7 WRC plus in 8 plate appearances, one being a 14-pitch at bat that drove in 2 runs on Thursday. Will Wagner had a strong series, appearing in 3 games where he slashed .250, .455, and .375 with 2 doubles, finishing with a 150 WRC plus. Surprisingly, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was left out of all the fun, slashing .176, .263, and .222 with no home runs in 19 plate appearances for a 26 WRC plus. Ernie Clement also had a tough series as well with a 38 WRC plus, but both players had clutch base hits. Alejandro Kirk also finished with a WRC plus below 50, but had a 2-run single to kick off the party on Wednesday. Miles Straw had a rough series with the bat, but a great one with the glove. Bo Bichette, Tyler Heineman, and Leo Jimenez had limited plate appearances where they struggled. Jonathan Clase was sent down for Jimenez, but finished with a 191 WRC plus in his 2 plate appearances. Pitching was a mixed bag once again. Max Scherzer and Kevin Gausman each went 5 innings with 2 runs allowed. Jose Barrios cruised through 4 innings before suddenly imploding, thankfully not literally, and the 5th to let the Yankees back into the game on Wednesday. Chris Bassett didn't have his best stuff on Thursday, but he went 5 2/3 with 3 earned runs allowed. The Blue Jays' bullpen is burnt out, and it showed in this series. Mason Fluharty allowed an earned run in his inning of work. Jimmy Garcia struggled in his return, giving up a 2-run blast to Judge. Justin Brule gave up an earned run but got the batter he faced on Thursday by hitting him with a pitch and getting a strikeout. For the first time in his career, Braden Fisher gave up an earned run in relief as 2 of his runs scored. Brendan Little also allowed 2 runs in his 2 1/3 innings pitched. Jairo Rodriguez pitched 2 1/3 innings as well, giving up 1 run. Only Nick Sandlin, Jeff Hoffman, and Chad Green pitched scoreless innings. Green and Hoffman each pitched in 3 games. The Jays have a chance to build on their lead as they host the Los Angeles Angels for a 3-game series over the weekend. Their season turned around the last time they played the Angels in May, so hopefully they can keep it going. And then I'm just going to... And now let's take a look at 4 best moments from the Blue Jays sweep of the New York Yankees. There was something special about the number 4 in the Toronto Blue Jays' 4-game series against the Yankees. 4 wins for the Blue Jays and 4 home runs hit by George Springer, who wears number 4, by the way. And for the first time in franchise history, the Jays swept the Bronx Bombers out of Toronto in a 4-game set. It may only be early July, but that series had a late September feel to it. Each matchup had the potential to go either way, but the Blue Jays emerged from that series in sole possession of first place in the American League East, a place the Blue Jays haven't been since September 2016. With 3 out of 4 games being close affairs, there were several standout moments by the Blue Jays in this series, which may have been their most impressive home series in Toronto in recent memory. In case you want to relive the best parts of the series, these were the 4 best moments of the Jays' sweep of the Yankees. Vladdy's go-ahead 2-run single from Monday's game. In 2 of the 4 games in the series, the Jays trailed early 2-0, but being the comeback kids they are, the Blue Jays clawed back in Monday's game to tie the game 3-3. Then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. delivered his bullet through the left side of the infield that Jazz Chisholm Jr. couldn't get a glove on. The only scary part about this play was Springer sliding throat first into Chisholm Jr.'s leg, or knee rather. For a second there, it looked like shades of Springer and Bichette colliding in center field from their Game 2 collapse of the 2022 wildcard series in Toronto. Alas, the neck first slide only made Springer stronger. Number 4 was just getting warmed up. George Springer's Canada Day Grand Slam. The Jays were in tough on Tuesday, facing one of the best starting pitchers in the game this year in Max Fried, but the Blue Jays got to the Yankees ace for 4 earned runs, the second most allowed by Fried in a single start this season. Honorable mention goes to Andres Jimenez, who hit a go-ahead 3-run home run off Fried in the 4th inning of the Canada Day game. Yet the best part of this game was Springer's grand slam off Luke Weaver in the bottom of the 7th. Before Springer's clutch home run, the Jays were clinging to a 5-4 lead, and with Aaron Judge and the top of the Yankees lineup looming, it was going to be a tightrope for John Schneider. to walk to keep his team in this game, but one swing of the stick, Springer said, I got it, boss. Nathan Lucas's 14-pitch at-bat from Thursday's game. I feel bad that we're glossing over the Blue Jays' narrow 11-9 win from Wednesday, but Thursday's game had too many noteworthy moments. Is it hyperbolic to declare Nathan Lucas's 14-pitch at-bat against Clayton Beeter was the best at-bat by a Blue Jays player this entire season? Lucas was down 0-2 from the jump and fouled off 9 pitches in this at-bat before hitting a four-seamer above the zone for a double into the left field corner. Yes, Lucas swung at ball 4, but who the hell cares when it produces go-ahead runs? Not only did it tie the team record for most pitches seen in an at-bat, but the sheer wizardry of how Lucas hits this ball into foul territory and curved it around third base is enough to give him an honorary spot at Hogwarts. Given the stakes of the game, a tied score at 3-3, Lucas should get him a player of the game nod for that epic at-bat. Springer clubs his 4th home run of the series. For the second time in this series, the Blue Jays clung to a 1-run lead late in the game, and who else but Springer delivered for the Blue Jays? He was the undoubted MVP of this 4-game series for the home squad. Springer had a career-high 7 RBIs on Canada Day, 8 hits in the series, scored 7 runs, hit 4 home runs, and drove in 11 runs in Toronto's 4-game set. Whoever thought Springer was cooked is an imbecile. Go ahead, read number 3 on this list. The man has discovered the fountain of youth at age 35 and is performing at a similar pace, if not better, than the second half iteration of 2021 Springer. Honorable mention goes to Schneider for flashing the fastest intentional walk sign ever thrown up. Aaron Judge had barely taken a step towards home plate before the Jays called for the intentional walk to the Yankee slugger. Kudos to the Blue Jays skipper for potentially creating a meme that may live on for the rest of the season. So there's that. And that is the 4-game series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. As I mentioned, it propelled them into first place in the AL East, a position they have not held since September 2016. And that's taking it really back. That's going back to like the Josh Donaldson, Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion days. And then this is huge. It's a great time to be a Toronto Blue Jays fan right now. So obviously, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, their next series is against the Los Angeles Angels. They have already won Game 1, so they have won 6 straight, as I mentioned. Game 2 goes today, technically. By the time this video comes out, the game is probably having already started. But obviously, Jays are looking to keep rolling, heading into the All-Star break. And yeah, that's going to do it for this game recap. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you guys thrilled to see the Blue Jays playing the way they've been playing the last few weeks, the last month? And do you guys think that they can keep it going? And, dare I say it, is this the year? Coming up after this video, so we're going to be doing our first player spotlight, and that player spotlight is going to be on none other than Mr. George Springer. So stay tuned for that. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Toronto Blue Jays content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can also find us on all social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at Inside Jays Pod. Also, you can also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you prefer a audio version of this podcast. But that's going to do it for me. As always, lights up. Let's go Blue Jays.